We have a 401k. We can match your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. If these tires roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, you make money. Ride the best, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax, have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. We've been in business since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Woo! We got the trucks. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, boy. Some companies may tell you that the grass is greener. At Wiley Sanders, we know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Now this is green grass, this is green money. $1,000 sign on bonus, Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k, we match it up to 4%. Get you home regular, good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We do what we say. Come join the best today. You're not just a number, we know your name. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, family owned, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come drive for the best today. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, we can get you home. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Been rolling these wheels since 1959. Money, money, money. Just rolling these wheels. If these wheels roll, you make money. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. Bo, tell them. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. Welcome to another edition of Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. I am so excited. I pray that we have plenty footage from last week's driver appreciation. Justin shaking his head. Yeah, I got it, Hoss. Man, that we have a ball. Drivers, thank you so much. You guys were so nice, but I hope we showed you that we really care about you. We cooked every day last week, and we give something away every day. And I want to stop something before it even starts. I've heard a little bit about it. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this. People that was on the road, they got pulled out of several drawings. It was people that got stuff that never came to the yard last week. It was a good deal. Let's don't take a good deal and turn it bad. It was good. I still have a few things in my office. If somebody walks up to me and tell me they didn't get something, I got something for them. That's just how serious it is about it. And I came out to the yard Saturday, and I also came out there Sunday, just looking in the driver's lounge to see. We did the best that we could do. And I always been taught if you do your best, then you got nothing to hold your head down about. But you know, at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. And let me read the scripture that I kind of heard this in service yesterday, and I had my wife, I said, send that to me. I'm going to use that tomorrow. It's Galatians 5:22. And it says, Study Bible says, on the other hand, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faith. Wow. King James Version, Galatians 5:22 says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. So we got to have those things in order to operate. And the most important thing, I think, in all of that is love. Boy, we can't love one another, we're going to struggle. We've got to love one another. We've got to come to be compassionate for one another. And that's what I put that in my heart last week. I try to keep it in there all the time, but I kind of gave myself an extra glass of it because I wanted all my drivers to know from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. You ladies, I love you. I do realize that what you do makes our paycheck. You are the only part of that company that brings a revenue on the trucking side. the drivers. Now the other companies, they got a product they sell, and they got a product they make. But on the trucking side, you guys are the revenue for us. And it would be crazy. I will take it with me through all my days. Doug Kitchens, safety director, he's got it fixed when he says this. He said, treat every driver as if that driver made your paycheck that week. Oh man, if we get to that point, we'll be good. I know you wonder what kind of guest I got on this morning. I know some people are saying, well, they were supposed to be at the Pike County Jail. I know it was, but unfortunately some things come up. We could not go, but we are going. We're going to try to go next Monday. I'm saying goodbye to somebody next Monday. I ain't going to tell y'all who. But anyway, so we're going to be there next Monday if the Lord will. But this morning, we're going to teach you about, I hear all this story. Now, I'm probably going to make some people mad. I got to make sure I say this just right. We're going to talk about guns, and we're going to talk about the safety of guns, and we're going to talk about how to get gun license, the proper way to be involved with a gun. Now, let me say this to you. All these people are talking about guns, this and gun that. This is my personal opinion. This is not Wiley Sanders truck lines. I don't want nobody to say this, but my personal opinion, guns are not bad until they get in bad people's hands. Guns are not bad until a little person gets them that they should have been put up out of their way anyway. Anybody that's ever had a kid and said they ain't never got into nothing, it's bad. Because I'll tell you a little story. I remember one time, and you know I'm old. I stuck a VCR in the thing and it wouldn't go in there. And I kept pushing it. And finally I pulled it out and I stuck my hand in there. And out come this yucky hamburger and bread. Oh, I'm mad with that little hand. I was mad. But kids will do things. And that's what I'm telling you. So guns are not bad. It's just when operated bad or put in bad places, then they become bad. I used to rabbit hunt when I was little. Don't do it now because I don't really have the time. But it was fun. Daddy taught me how to lay the gun down. He taught me what to do with it. And there was a rule in our house. Them guns stayed in that closet. But if it was not adult, then you better not go take one of them out. You wasn't brave enough. You couldn't pay me enough to take one. I took them out of that closet one time when somebody wasn't there. And not trying to make nobody say it, but our house was on fire, and I knew how much my daddy loved his guns, and I knew I could save them because they was right there at the door. So, with that being said, hey, we're going to talk about guns, but we're going to talk about somebody that got some license that can help you and know more about it than I do. We'll be right back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina,
Ohio and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%?
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines been in business since 1959, and we're steady getting bigger. I'm surrounded by new equipment. That's right, new equipment. Here's one that's ready to go at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have 401k. We can match your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. If these tires roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, you make money. Ride the best, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Line's state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax, have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. We've been in business since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Woo! We got the trucks. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, boy. Some companies may tell you that the grass is greener. At Wiley Sanders, we know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Now this is green grass, this is green money. $1,000 sign-on bonus, Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k, we match it up to 4%. Get you home regular, good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we do what we say. Come join the best today. You're not just a number, we know your name. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, family owned, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come drive for the best today. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, we can get you home. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Been rolling these wheels since 1959. Money, money, money. Just rolling these wheels. If these wheels roll, you make money. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. Bo, tell them. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. Are you looking for a good company? A company that can get you home and you make good money? Then you need to call Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, hey, you know we still had a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. We've been in business since 1959. We've been rolling these wheels with money, money, money since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Bo. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. If you're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina,
Ohio and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%.
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line has been in business since 1959 and we're steady getting bigger. I'm surrounded by new equipment. That's right, new equipment. Here's one that's... And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Good morning to you.
Morning, Hoss.
All right, now tell everybody what you do.
I am a state game warden and have been so for a little bit over 17 years now. I'm an area lieutenant and work for the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources in the Wildlife Freshwater Fisheries Division.
Well, I talked to you earlier before we came on the show and you told me you love the outdoors.
Absolutely.
You know, I love everything that our Father in heaven created, but one of the things is the beauty of nature.
Yes,
and
sir.
the grass. And I'm going to tell you a little story that, and you're going to go to looking for this. You're going to go to looking for this. Oh, man. It's been maybe 25, 30 years ago. Maybe 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. But Mr. Wiley Sanders had some squirrels from Arkansas in a box. And he bought them back. And he turned them loose. And I don't think he ever got a chance to see them. But when you see a real gray squirrel with a black face, that's an Arkansas squirrel. You go out there on Smart Road where I live at, I see them sometimes, especially on Blind Jack Road.
Yes.
But if you ever see him, he's a unique looking squirrel, and I often think about that. I look at rabbits and squirrels. I ride my bike every morning about 5 o'clock. And the world looks a whole lot different than that time. It's not moving. It's not
Exactly.
And the sun is coming up, and it is a joy.
That's why I enjoy turkey hunting so much, because you get to see the world come alive. You're out there before the sun comes up, and you're getting an experience that only God created. I mean, so you're getting that one-on-one experience, I feel like, with nature when you're out there in the woods.
Now, you mentioned hunting, so we'll just step right off of one. So when you hunt with a gun.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's
or a bow and
me.
arrow.
Oh, yeah, or bow.
Yeah.
Me, I don't have a hunting license. I haven't had the proper training in so many years. That would not be a good idea for me to go buy a shotgun and go hunting with it.
Not without some formal training, yes,
Some
sir.
formal training, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
So what do you suggest to a person that says, you know what, I want to learn something about firearms and I want to go hunt? I think you have something for them.
Yes, sir, I do. And the first stop for that would be to take a hunter education course. And during the hunter education course, you'll learn about firearm safety. You're going to learn about wildlife management and habitat. And you're going to learn about relationships with landowners and how to cultivate those, as well as some survival skills and techniques. So it's really helpful, and especially you mentioned, I think, earlier in your show about children and guns. A lot of kids they're curious, so we have to teach them how not to be curious. And one of the ways to start doing that is to allow them to utilize a non-firing gun, like what we use in hunter education. They're non-firing and they're safe, and we can teach them the proper way to handle that firearm. And so that takes a little bit of that curiosity out of it. At home, like they look over and they see it and they want to touch it type thing. So we give them that experience here and teach them that the proper way to handle it. And to get an adult, if you're a child, you should always go find an adult if you see a gun, sitting around somewhere on a table.
Well, let me ask you this. This course is free. I see you got a special or something going on, don't you?
Absolutely. The course is free to anybody 10 and over. That's the age requirement. We'd like for you to be at least 10 so you can understand the information. But it is free. We partnered with the Pike County Cattlemen's this year, and we're excited about that. And they're even going to fix lunch, so we don't have to go anywhere. We can do all of our training right there at the Pike County Cattlemen's Arena, and we'll be fed and just have a great day together, spending time. What I like best about these classes too, is being in law enforcement. It allows these young kids to see us, meet us, and understand that we're there to help. We're not there for any other thing than to just help people.
You.
Yes, sir.
Help you have fun.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
But the safe way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I will say, I just dare not let somebody mention the Pike County's Cattlemen, and I don't just say, hats off to them.
Yes, sir.
Those are a group of guys that don't get paid, that are in this community, them and Wiley Sanders Truck Line. There's a lot of other people around here, but we're deep into this community. The Cattlemen, they provide so much. Pike County don't know how blessed we are to have that place down there on 231.
Absolutely.
I mean, this here, and you said something yesterday, and I had they come out of service, and when I got the call about we was changing locations, and I said, well, I need to call him, and I'm glad I called you because you was talking. You said, yeah, I'll come there. He said, I want people to know this. You said, if we don't save but one child,
That's right.
it's worth all the effort and all the time we done did.
Yes.
And it made me, people say, Hoss, I don't care what it is, you can turn it back to trucking. When I go to a school and I lay out what we got, if I get one good, G-O-O-D, one good student, it is worth everything that we put into me going and everything going, if it's a good student.
Absolutely.
So I can understand when you're talking one. A lot of times we look for volume and numbers.
Absolutely.
But if it's good and we help one person, then we help them.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
But we put it out there for everybody. I mean, this is a free course. You got no reason not to come. If you say, well, I'm going to be hungry, well, you just said they're going to feed us.
Exactly. We're going to feed you. And what I'm really excited about is the numbers that we have here. we adjusted it. They first put it in at 25, and I said, no, bump that up to 50. I think we can fill that. And the response has been enormous. We have, this morning when I looked and checked, I think there's 12 seats left available out of 50. So there's 12 left available, and I sure would love to fill those with about 12 more kids.
Well, you filled one last night, because yesterday you told me it was 13.
Yes,
so
sir.
You filled one. When is this event? How much longer they got?
They've got until the 29th to register, and the event will take place on the 30th from 8 to 5. Now we may get out there just a little bit ahead of time. It just depends. A lot of times on the interaction and stuff like that we're getting from the crowd, but usually we'll have you out somewhere between 3 and 5 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But the course is we scheduled it from 8 to 5 to give us enough time to cover all the material. We will be inside and outside, so it's not going to be all sitting in there watching a video or something like that. It's interactive, and we engage the students in the class, to participate and get them outside as well,
And so they'll have a chance to ask questions if something
Absolutely.
they don't understand.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
you'll have firearms there?
Yes, sir. We'll have non-firing firearms.
Non-firing firearms.
They are safe firearms that have no firing mechanisms in them, but they still function so that we can teach them the different action types and whatnot. So that's very helpful.
That is so interesting.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna try to come out of that.
Yes, sir.
So if a person wanted to listen to us now and listen to me on the radio the rest of the week talking about it, what would they need to do? What would be the first step?
All they need to do is go to www.outdooralabama.com, and they're going to click on hunting. And when the hunting screen comes up, they'll click on the hunter education and go to the traditional course and sign up for it there. They'll have to find it'll give you a list of courses, so find the one for Pike County, for the Pike County Cattlemen's, and then sign up for that one right there. There's a little tab at the bottom. You'll hit register, and you're good to go there. You'll need your social security number, though, if you're registering a child. You'll need their social security number so that they register for the course.
And please, ma'am, please, sir, remember that they want you to be 10 or older.
Absolutely.
10 or older. I know somebody said, well, he'll be 10 such and such a month. No, 10 or older. I found out when you're doing things like this, and especially when it's free, lay it all out. Lay the rules out, lay it all
Yes,
out.
sir.
Because you want it to be done right.
Absolutely.
You want it to be done right. And so many kids could take advantage of this that don't have their hunting license but like to hunt.
Yes, sir.
And they probably could meet somebody there at the cattlemen's, or maybe meet somebody who would let them hunt some or take them hunting. I know Derek, he hunts a little bit. I think he deer hunts a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Trace Parker, our president.
Big hunter.
And I'm going to say this, I bet he's going to say that hoss put me into something. But I promise you, if a child asks Trace to take them hunt, he'd make time and do it.
Absolutely.
He's just that type of fellow. Derek Thompson would do the same thing. Ronnie Bozeman.
Good men.
Some of them guys that I just know, I have been dealing with the cattlemen's now about the last 5-6 years, and I tell you what, I'm never surprised of the things that they do for this community. And I know people are going to say, you can talk about that food. Yes, because I've been that person. You got a guy that's got a wife and kid, a wife and 2 kids, and you selling hamburgers for $10. He can't. It's $40 and he ain't got no fries or nothing. But the cattlemen's always keep it where you can come in there and you can get your wife and kids something, and it can be affordable. They keep their prices. They do the best they can. They're not trying to make money. They're just trying to pay for their goods, and it shows. I go there for the auction every year. I go for the rodeo every year. If the Pike Cattlemen are having something, I mostly go because it's always fun. It's always something fun.
Always something to do, something fun to do. Yes,
something fun to do.
And they keep the kids engaged out there.
Yes.
They do so much for the the showmanship skills. They give the opportunities to utilize those facilities for these kids that are wanting to get into showing livestock and all. You know, I've been my child's been blessed to be a part of that down there with them, and the things that they do when you say the cattlemen give back, they really do. They give back a lot.
Over $20,000 in scholarships.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's giving back right there. And just the facility they have, you're not uncomfortable when you go there because just about everything they have is family oriented.
Yes, sir.
And you know, I'm a little country boy. Family that plays and prays together stays together. And
Absolutely.
I did say plays together and prays together, stays together. And you got to play. Kids are curious.
They are.
And I know that's what you're thinking about the guns. You want them to not be curious. You want them to know what this will happen, what'll happen if you do this.
Absolutely.
You show them, and it takes that curiosity out. If you do get careless, and all of us make mistakes, and you lay a gun out, well, if your child has been to this hunter course, they know not to touch that gun.
They know exactly what to do. We teach them to go find an adult, you know, for the children, and to treat each gun as if it's loaded. You know, guns,
no mistakes that way.
Exactly. Guns are not to be feared. As you mentioned earlier, guns are not. We want to remove the fear of guns, but we want to instill the respect of guns or firearms, because you know a gun, as we'll teach them, laying on the table, it's not going to hurt somebody sitting there. But as soon as a person, a human being, touches it, then the potential for an accident goes up. You follow what I'm saying? Because the gun itself is an inanimate object. It takes somebody touching it, picking it up for it to do something. And so if you respect it and you understand it, that's what we want to instill in these children. And then maybe it'll avoid an accident. Like you say, if you save one life, if they go hunting, our agency has to investigate the hunting accidents. We never like having to go somewhere and tell them, say, hey, your loved one was injured today, or either worse, could have possibly lost her life in an accident that's preventable. Something that we can teach, because accidents are preventable. You know, so that's what we want to teach these kids. And again, like I say, I want them to see a couple of game wardens there, and realize we're there to help, them, and not. Not to light fears or run away from us or anything like that.
A game warden is like a state trooper. If you see a state trooper side of the road and the speed limit is 60 and you running 58, well, you ain't got to be scared.
That's right.
If you're running 80, yeah, it's some fear. And you guys are the same way. If you come up on somebody there on a fishing bank, you got your license, whoop your license out.
Problem.
You're not coming there to be ugly.
Exactly.
When I heard you say accidents are preventable, you believe it or not, in trucking on the application, when we run your NVR, it has accidents and it has preventables. Preventables meaning that driver that I'm looking at, he had an accident, it was preventable.
Right.
So let's charge to him. He may have another accident that wasn't preventable. Well, something happened there, but it don't consider it's preventable.
Right.
But a preventable accident, I'll fix it where you can't be hired. A preventable accident, I'll fix it where you can't have a hunting license. So this world, rules and things was put in place for things to go smoothly.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know a lot of people that love to hunt, and they're good people. And going to back when you were saying that you lay this gun on the counter, I was telling one of my coworkers, Dale Clifton, me and a guy got into it I questioned him about a commercial about firearms. I said, I don't know whether I agree with that or not. Because if you put me in a Dodge Charger, well, Hemi they call it, and I go to Montgomery, and they put you in one and you go to Montgomery. Well, when I leave the traffic light by the Circle K, I flow mine about Pine Level. I run up on the back of a truck and I can't stop. You leave the Circle K and you run the speed limit and you make it a Longhorn and you sitting there eating a steak and I'm in a neck brace. Was it the car or was it me?
Exactly.
Was it the car? You drove the same car.
Yeah. It was
But you
definitely
drove yours properly.
right. It's
So,
definitely you.
You get my point, what I'm saying, and that's what I say. Dale Clifton, I was going to the story about Dale Clifton. We was talking about guns that day, and he goes up to the lake, up to the river, and he say he had saw a snake up there the weekend before, and he was carrying his little godson with him. So he took his gun, he put it up in the top shelf in his camper, and he didn't see no snakes, and he didn't ever take it down. And he was telling me, he said, Hoss, funny thing, when I got back, it was laying right there where I laid it. People want to put it on it. It's not the gun, it's the operator. It's the operator of it.
That's right.
And that's what this course will do.
Exactly.
It will teach you how to operate it safely. Ladies and gentlemen, come get this course. It's free. It is free. I'm actually gonna mark on my calendar at work, but I'm gonna try to come down there with you guys. And I want to try to the week before it, maybe just maybe do some live stuff with you, some call-ins, and just tell people we don't have but 12 spots left.
Right.
Me and you had talked yesterday, maybe next year when we really get this thing going and go to 75. But right now we got 12 spots left, and that's what y'all have made arrangements for. Will it be some other officers there?
Yes, sir. There'll be other officers there and possibly some volunteers, to help us, because we do have volunteer instructors that come in from time to time and help us with these courses. And of course, they're volunteers. Like I say, they don't get paid, but they just do it because, of what it means to them, what it means to the kids, what it means to the sport of hunting as well. Because we need more hunters, because that's what protects the wildlife in the state, is these hunters and fishermen out here. And when they buy their license, that's very important, because that is the only funding that we get to protect the resources of this state. We don't get any tax dollars from state general fund. Yes, sir. So for each license that is sold, there's a basically a pot of money that goes to the federal government from an excise tax on like ammunition and firearms and things like that. For every license we sell, we get so much match from that pot. And so it's very important for people to buy a hunting or fishing license. Even if you don't hunt or fish, you may enjoy going out and seeing the squirrels, like you was talking about. Yeah. And so those squirrels, the people that pay for us to have these abilities to see all this wildlife across the state and experience this wildlife, at our state parks and things, all this wildlife is protected through the sale of a hunting and fishing license.
Wow.
So
I've learned something today.
Yes, sir. So it's very important that we do that. So on average, how many, what's the percentage of the state of Alabama do you believe? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Okay.
But just take a guess. We'll play a game here.
All right.
What's the percentage of people that buy a hunting license in the state of Alabama? What do you think that percentage is?
I think that percentage, because I know a lot of hunters, out of 100, right?
No, percentage out of 100, yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to say 40%.
Wow, I wish. Do you want to know the truth?
10%.
5 to 6.
Wow.
5 to 6% of the state of Alabama.
Now, what about these people that, when they was young, bought this lifetime license?
All right, the lifetime licenses, those still count, and we're able to count those for a number of years. But after a while, we can't get the match off of those for an extended period. It's a certain number of years that we can count that, and I'll receive the match off that.
So you're going to make me go buy some hunting license. I ain't even going hunting. Go fishing. I fish.
Yes, sir.
I like to fish.
Well, we've got a heritage license, too, that you buy it, and basically it's for somebody that may not hunt or fish, but they like to go birding or whatever, and they buy this license, and it supports all the wildlife that they get to go watch and see. They don't have to have a license to go see it, but it's a way that a non-hunter or non-angler, they can support what we do by buying that wildlife heritage license. And
I'm going to help you sell some of them.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to help you. I know a lot of people like wildlife. I'm going to help you sell. My wife going to be the first one.
Yes,
they're going to be my first customer.
And we've got a lot of other programs too. I want to put in if we've got the time.
We got the time.
All right. There's several other programs that our agency puts on, like the Go Fish Alabama program. It's basically a 101 on how to fish. You've got somebody that's never went fishing before. We provide a a class that you can go take that's free. Okay, if it's at a certain location, it's free. If it's private, if it's at a place where it's public fishing required, you would have to go ahead and buy the fishing license so that you're legal to fish in that public water. But however, we provide the rod and reels, we provide Go Fish, Alabama, and when you pull it up, it will show you the different locations where it's being taught across the state. There's also another program that we have that's called the Mentored Hunting Program. So you take an adult that's never hunted. They didn't grow up hunting in their, as a child. But nowadays, people want to sustain themselves. Most that you can get there, and those are some great programs that we offer. Again, that you would have to have a hunting license, to go on those programs. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we do for free and or minimal cost. It may cost you a WMA license or something, but it's very minimal. Less than $25 or so, and you can learn how to catch your own fish.
She loves the wildlife, and when I tell her about that part of it, she loves the wildlife. We're gonna take advantage of some of those programs. I tell people all the time, ain't no telling how many people see the game ward and go, but really, after this show this morning and me listening, just what I've learned, you're the good guys.
Absolutely.
You're the good guys.
Yes,
really, you're the good guys.
Yes, sir. And I understand. Everybody's got a story here or there, but for the most part, we're the good guys. We're there to help. We're there to protect the resource and make sure that it's not just here today, that it's here tomorrow for your children, your children's children. And that's what we're trying to do. A lot of people don't understand. They're used not to, during the Great Depression, wildlife populations in Alabama were severely depleted. Whitetail deer, for instance. Now you may have come through a time, not trying to get you to tell your age or anything, but you may have come through a time when there wasn't that many deer around. And then the state worked with private landowners to bring the whitetail deer back because people had to eat. They were subsistence hunters back in the 30s and 40s. They had to eat. So the populations got depleted. Wild turkey got depleted. Those animals, that wildlife was brought back through sound conservation practices that were taken care of and worked through a coordination effort between our agency, between the Department of Conservation and private landowners. Because we wouldn't have what we have nowadays if it wasn't for that cooperation, coordination between our private landowners.
Now, I wasn't going to ask you this question because I promised you I wouldn't ask you nothing that you didn't know, but you may know the answer to this question. With the deer.
Yes, sir.
Man, they tab some trucks, some cars. Do we have too many now? Is it time that we need to do something? I mean, we come from the ball game the other night, and you can tell me and my wife ain't got much to do. Well, we counted 14 from Ozark and Troy. And we ride motorcycles a lot, and we just don't ride too much. You can get hit by one in the daytime, but not a lot. I mean, you go up 231. They
Yes,
just, do we have too many, or is that the way we?
It depends on where you go. Some parts of the state probably have more deer than others.
Yeah.
There's a healthy population here, I would say.
Yeah.
Based on what I see, you know, because I live up north end of the county and up by Lockheed, and
Okay.
there's a lot of
So
deer.
I know you see a lot.
Yes,
of
sir.
deer.
There's a lot of deer. Probably the way I'd like to say this is there's two things. We don't have the hunters that we used to have that kept the population in check, so to speak, you know. And we have a lot of hunters nowadays that their choice, and it's their choice, is to maybe harvest a large deer with a big set of antlers, okay? You know, they want that trophy.
Yeah.
And so they let a lot of the smaller deer walk, or they let a lot of the does walk. And so, you know, I think it's a combination of things. And historically what will happen and what you'll see is if populations get out of balance, nature has a way. They'll come in and you know, work to reduce the herd to the carrying capacity of the land.
Yeah.
You know, so whether or not we've got too many, I don't feel right in saying we do.
Yeah,
but I'll say this: we got a lot of deer.
We got a lot of deer.
And they do.
Now, how many
terribly.
doe can you kill in a deer season?
Okay, you can kill a doe a day. All right, so that's one a day per season, and you can take a doe and a buck on that day, as long as you don't exceed your 3 buck limit. You're allowed 3 bucks in a year. Okay, so
In a year,
in
that's
a
all.
season, in a season. I say a year in a season.
In the season, yeah.
But as far as the does, you can take 1 a day, and that's a lot of deer.
Yeah.
And then we also have.
But most, like you say though, but most of the
Yeah.
big time hunters, because if I went hunting, that's what I'd be looking.
Mhm.
I've seen them go hunt. A lot of guys go
Right.
hunt, and then they come to work. He said, "You kill something?" So no, I saw a doe or two. They just won't kill them.
Well, when you start talking and you're thinking in the aspect of management and carrying capacity of the land, it's good to thin some down. And then even if you don't want, there's so many people that don't hunt, but they love to have the meat. And we also have a program through the agency that's Hunters Helping the Hungry. And basically, if we've got a processor that's willing to process the meat to ground meat, we pay them their processing fee for that meat, and then that meat goes to a local area food bank, and is used to, you know, it could be used for, you know, people that are less fortunate or homeless.
What does it
and stuff
cost
like
to
that.
process one?
Wow, you'd have to ask a processor.
Okay.
I don't.
I was just curious.
It's not
I like
bad.
to process one time for that program.
Each
Sponsor
processor,
one, you know.
right?
I got a little car wash. I love for Trojan Detail to sponsor
Yes, sir.
the processing of one.
Each
Put
pro-
somebody in contact with me that process.
I will, and each processor, you know, has different fees.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah, I can
so
understand
it
that.
could be anywhere from say $90 up. I would
Yeah.
say just depends on what you're getting. If you're just getting it ground, you know, probably about 90 or so.
What do y'all mostly do when you're gonna carry it to a place like that?
It depends on your preference. Like me, my family.
No, I mean you gonna
used to
carry.
like-
I'm talking about one of those food banks.
Oh.
If you was gonna carry it to, I want to buy one to carry to the food bank.
Oh, okay. You just get in contact with the food bank and tell them your intents.
And
would-
they'll
would
tell
say-
you how to get it cut up.
Well, we usually what we're doing is we're taking them ground meat. Because the ground meat, they can use it for burger, they can use it for, you know, stroganoff, they can use it for spaghetti, just a lot of different things.
Do you eat wildlife?
Oh, yes, sir, absolutely.
Do you hunt?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
absolutely. And my little girl hunts, she loves it.
How old is your little girl?
She's 10.
She's 10. Okay.
She's 10.
And what's her name?
Mac, and
All
she.
right, say hey to her. She
Hey,
come back
Mac.
and look at her and say hey to your wife. Don't get in
Hey,
trouble.
Tracy. Yeah, I got to. She's more important than I am. She's a biologist, so
Okay.
and she's been on Nat Geo, so
Okay.
she catches
You know, this is, I always thank God for my job because all the things I get to learn and see. But it's been so interesting talking to you this morning. Came to talk about that, but you had so much information, and it was good information.
Yes,
I'm sure I'm not the only one that didn't know this information, because I'm going to be honest, the game warden, they're checking for your license. But y'all do a lot more than that. You know,
Yes,
just
sir.
check. You're not just a license checker. You're
Absolutely.
working with the earth and making things be right. And
Yes,
so
sir.
we have pretty birds and stuff to look at.
Absolutely, and Alabama has some of the most diverse wildlife in any state in our country.
Well, my wife took a thing of bird feeder, and she fixed it all up. And I thought the porch was on fire. She come around, they here, they made it. She's running down the hall. I was like, what?
How many birds?
She our first bird to come up, and we give Daniel Walker's little girl. We gave her a feeder, and they came up. Now I really did get it. I never did that. I really did get interested in them birds coming to that feeder. And
Oh yes, sir.
it's talking,
Absolutely.
I did learn that they could see red from so far away. Isn't that amazing?
It is, and what's amazing, I take it that you're probably talking about the small hummingbird.
Yeah, the
And,
hummingbird.
and it's fun to watch them battle each other and go to the ground and all this. But what amazes me more is that bird migrates. They're migratory, and they migrate from up north all the way down into South America and then back. And that tiny little bird and those fast little wings, how it goes that far, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Nature is amazing, and I was like, ain't nothing coming to that thing. And they did. They came, and boy, she's adamant now. She keeps them fed and watered and keeps all the good deal. And when you talk about wildlife, the older generation, our older people, I can remember ever since I was old enough to remember.
Yes, sir.
We had anywhere from 1 to 2 dogs or 1 to 2 cats. And I'm that way now. And it's just something that is good and just look. Sometimes I'm sitting in my living room and I look at my cat and and it's amazing. I do believe this. I've heard this said before and I've kind of seen it. My wife, I'm going to tell on myself, has got a dog. I call it her dog, but it lives with us. It should be our dog.
Yes, sir.
A dog will do anything she tells it to do. All I'm always telling it, move, get back over here, get back over. But it's still just as happy with me. It's just as happy with me. Animals all love us. They do love us.
They are.
They do love us. They do love us. And I like guys like you that keep them treated right.
Yes, sir.
And keep all that. They should be fighting them and mistreating them and all and burning them and doing all that stuff. You don't want nobody to do you like that. So I'm glad there was a provision put in place to take care of them and keep it. Because God made this stuff. We didn't make it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And then, like you say, back in the older days, they had to live off that land. They had to eat it. And I'm sure they had their own way. I bet they didn't kill real small stuff. I bet they did their own little stuff. Guy got 25 acres of land.
Exactly.
He probably want to keep his hunt land plentiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's all management and taking care of the land and teaching you how the land will take care of you. And it's like our Native Americans, the American Indians. They were some of the first conservationists, and they cared for the land. They knew about the carrying capacity of that land and what it could provide for them to live throughout the year. And it's just
time.
It's amazing how our world is put in place and put together through the great architect.
Oh yeah.
And he's put all this together for us, and then he put man over the beast of the field.
Yeah.
So, you
read
it's
too,
all
don't
with
you?
him. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That's good. Me and Justin, we get in conversations like that sometimes, and I say, yeah, you've been reading that. But when you sum it all up, you come here today, and it's just nothing but just a great program.
Yes, sir.
For somebody to come down to the Cattlemen and somebody may have been listening to us this morning and say, man, that is so interesting. Well, if they come down there on the 29th,
Yes, sir.
what date is that?
Well, it's actually 30th. They got till 29th to sign
You got
up.
to 29th to sign up, but if you come down there, you'll meet people
Yeah.
like Mr. Woods here, and you'll get to learn these things. And you know what? I'm interested now, and I ain't going hunting, but I want to know about it. I
Yes,
might
sir.
just get me the license just to have it. It'll be good.
Yes,
And did you tell me, and I want to mention, I want you to go back over that again, about how it's funded and what goes to wildlife. That I would have never forget that percentage. I thought I was going low when I said 40, because I know a lot of people that hunt.
Yes, sir.
But it's just amazing. You say 6 to 7%.
About that, 5 to 6, yes, sir. And you know, and it is when you get into an area like Pike County. Pike County has a rich heritage in hunting. You know, there's a lot of hunting tradition here in Pike County, Alabama. And so when you grow up around it and around here, you probably think, well, everybody hunts or fishes. But that's just to the contrary. There's a heap more people that don't, you know, and especially when you get to the larger cities and metropolitan areas, you know. But, you know, it's almost a way of life to hunt and fish in a rural county. And I say rural county, Pike is not really, it's still rural, but, you know, the city of Troy is growing, and the university and all. This is a growing, thriving community, and I know since I've been living down here, I've seen tremendous amount of growth here in the city of Troy itself, and down in Brundage and all this. It's a great community, but you've got a lot of people that don't hunt and fish here now, whereas used to be probably, I bet everybody in Pike County hunted and fished, or you would think that anyway.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just sit here and you excited me when you was talking about the growth of Pike County, and man, you ride out there on that bypass, it lets you know you're getting old, because you remember when it used to be trees out there. Now we got a Lowe's. I remember when Lowe's first came, I said, I'll never make it in Pike County. Little did I know. And all these places that come, businesses thrive when they come here. I have not been, but the new Baumhauers, I hear you can't get in there.
No, the other night, I think I talked to a friend of mine last night. He said 75-minute wait when he went by there. So, you know, that's a long wait. That's want some wings.
My ball game will be over by that time, the one I want to watch.
Yes, sir.
But you talk about that, we got the bowling alley coming now, and there's a lot of them. But back to hunting, I got to ask you about this one. I call him the great hunter, him and Trace, but it's another one, Terry McPherson.
Oh, Mr. Terry Mack.
Do you know Mr. Terry
I know
Mack?
Mr. Terry Mack very well. Yes, sir. He's a good man.
Well, let me tell you a little story. I got into the idea that I was going to hunt. Well, who else would you go with if you go hunt? You go with Mr. Terry Mack.
Terry Mack.
Mr. Terry Mack, he did, and you'll be proud of him. He made sure I got my license to go hunting that day. This, I'm talking about 15, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And boy, we got up early that morning, and I was excited. I was excited, and I was ready to go. And we met in the truck, and I think the funnest I had was at the Waffle House when we had breakfast. We left, and he carried me up there, up Shiny Grove, I think it was. He carried me up there.
They're just past Corner Flats, probably.
Yeah, and we got on the four-wheeler, and we rolled, and I climbed up this deer stand. I have been all over this world on a truck. I mean, all over this world on a truck. I climbed up in that deer stand. And I was so cold, and that wind was whooping by, and there was a little ice on it. And all I kept thinking, I got this shotgun. I ain't had no rifle. I got this shot. I was going to buy me a rifle if I really liked it. I'm glad I didn't go buy the rifle first. And I'm sitting up there, and I'm just like this here. And I'm thinking, man, if I shoot this gun and it kick, I may fall off and up in this stand. I'm looking all around. And I tell people, I love the sound of an engine. I love hot cars. I love a motorcycle. I love the sound of an engine. But I ain't never loved the sound of an engine no more than I love when that four-wheeler was coming down through there to pick me back up. I heard when he got it there, I was down, it was on the ground, and we got in the truck, we come on back. We come to work. We went hunting, and then we come to work. He was telling everybody he took me to hunting. I didn't say nothing. He said, how you like it? I said, oh, it was okay. It was okay. I ain't been back. I ain't been back. Terry is a great wildlife guy, and I went fishing with his son, Jim McPherson. We went fishing before, and I love wildlife, and you've got me fired back up. And
yes, sir.
we got to tell people got to get out and
Well,
you was talking about the architect of this world. Man, he did it, didn't he?
he did.
He did it, didn't he?
He did.
I mean, you got birds, you got cows, you got horses. I was looking at this deal the other day, and this is totally different, about the wild Mustang. And they was trying to preserve them.
Yes.
So they was giving people $1,000 to take one. Well, they give them $1,000, and then the people turn around and do something that makes it a buyer owner. Then they can do what they want to do with it. But I got some land, and me and my wife been thinking about a horse. And I was telling her, I said that would be a good way for us to have us a long trip. We could go get us one. It about pay for our gas to go and come back and get one. And I said we wouldn't do that with ours. We'd keep it in the pasture and raise it and let it eat. I got a big old field. I ain't got no cows because I ain't got time for none. And I'm actually thinking about doing that. I'm going to get some more details. Not for the $1,000, because like I say, it took me every dime of that or more to drive out there and get one.
Yeah, that's
got a rental trailer, first of all.
That's a program run by the Bureau of Land Management, I believe. So BLM runs that. So Bureau of Land Management out west, and there was actually a guy that I talked to not long ago that lived up around Montgomery that works through that program, and it's an interesting program, you know.
Yeah, put me in touch with him.
You know.
I'd like for him to come down here and talk about his program. I'm dead serious about. We talked about it though, because we've been talking about getting a horse. You know, just to look at. We ain't gonna ride. We just want him to just walk around out there, and we gonna feed him.
Yes, sir.
For us to let him look at us.
Yes, sir.
And we gonna look at each other over there on Burnout Bridge Road.
Yes, sir.
Man, it has been great to talk to you.
Yes,
and I
sir.
just want you to know, I tell people this, that I love talking to. Somebody gonna say, well, he must have liked talking to me because he didn't tell me that. But this is an open floor mat for you.
Yes, sir.
We don't have sponsors. Wiley Sanders Truck Line sponsors this. So never worry about, you can't say this or can't say that. I tell anybody. As long as you got something positive,
Yes,
especially when you're trying to do something for these kids, because I do know they are our future.
Absolutely.
If my phone messes up right now, I could call one of them grand young, fix this phone. Or my wife, fix this phone. You know,
Yes,
'cause
sir.
they know about this stuff. So it's so interesting. It's so good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Same here.
I got your flyer on my desk at work, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to try to seek and I find a young child that I can bring down there.
Yes, sir.
I got my little guard girl that does the commercials with me, but she's not old enough. I'd bring her if she's old enough. She's a girl that name is Cadence. But anyway, any last comments before we get out of here? Because I told you, now it ain't my fault you stayed this long. I told you 15 minutes, but now we took the whole time.
And I think we both agree we can talk, right?
We can talk.
Yeah. No, just again, you know, come out and see us on the 30th at Pike County Cattlemen. Sign up. Let's fill those 12 extra slots. And again, I always like to take the time and opportunity to tell the people who support us, those that buy the hunting and fishing license, thank you. You know, because that's what keeps a job for me. That's what provides for my family. So we wouldn't be able to protect these resources as a great state of Alabama without the sale of these licenses. And so to those who purchase and to the landowners that work with our agency, thank you.
All right. And to everybody that don't have a hunting license, it ain't going to hurt you. Go buy some hunting license. I'm going to go get me some. If you see somebody from the Cattlemen's, take your hat off to them and tell them thank you. They always doing good in this community. I got a man that's standing behind me, y'all, and he's going, you got 6. I'm going to say I got 6 now. He got one hand up now. He think I can't count. This has been Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Thank you. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow. How many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%.
Yes.
Wow. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines been in business since 1959, and we're steady getting bigger. I'm surrounded by new equipment. That's right, new equipment. And here's one that's ready to go at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have Blue Cross, Blue Shield, We have a 401k. We can match your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. If these tires roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, you make money. Ride the best, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax, have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. We've been in business since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Woo! We got the trucks. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, boy. Some companies may tell you that the grass is greener. At Wiley Sanders, we know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Now this is green grass, this is green money. $1,000 sign-on bonus, Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k, we match it up to 4%. Get you home regular, good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We do what we say. Come join the best today. You're not just a number, we know your name. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, family owned, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come drive for the best today. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, we can get you home. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Been rolling these wheels since 1959. Money, money, money. Just rolling these wheels. If these wheels roll, you make money. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. Both. Tell them. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. Are you looking for a good company? A company can get you home and you make good money? Then you need to call Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, hey, you know we still had a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. We've been in business since 1959. We've been rolling these wheels with money, money, money since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck